Are you hesitant to hire your first employee because you see it simply as an expense? You don't know how you can afford it, or you know you have the money, but it's hard for you to part with the money because right now a lot of it's going into your pocket and you don't want to give that up. Well, today I'm going to share with you one thing that you might not be thinking about when it comes to adding an employee to your small business, but might show you that it's worth the cost. Hello and welcome. I'm Jamie Van Kuyk and I'm a small business consultant that specializes in employee management. I'm here to give you tips, techniques, and share with you my experiences and opinions so you can learn how to attract, hire, and retain the employees your small business needs. Today, we're talking about how you might be hesitant to hire an employee because you see it as an expense. You're not quite ready to give up that money, or you don't think your company has the money to afford that employee for the long term. So, is it worth it to bring in an employee? After all, you're doing it yourself now. Should you bring in that first employee? Well, guess what? You need to stop looking at your employees or potential employees as an expense. Yes, they're going to be an expense at first. However, in the long run, each employee should help earn the company enough revenue so that way they pay for themselves plus some. So in the long run, you should actually earn more money that's going into your pocket or going towards your company's profit, or to have increased expenses if there's something that you're holding back on now because you add an employee. So each employee you add should be a revenue or bottom line value add. So let's look into what I mean by this. So each position you add to your company should directly or indirectly earn your company revenue. So what this means is that, for example, maybe it's a sales position you're adding. You're adding a position that's going to directly work with customers and bring in sales. If you're bringing in someone for that position should bring in the company enough revenue to pay for that employee, plus adding more money back into the company so the company's better off than they were before. So the bottom line is better than it was before that employee was on board. So yes, you are paying for that employee. So part of the revenue that's coming in is paying for that employee, but they should be bringing in more revenue than you're bringing in today. So they are helping to pay for their position. And then there's the indirect way of them paying for their position. So indirectly, positions like admin positions or other internal support and help indirectly pay for their position because they take work off of someone else's plate so that person can go out and earn more revenue for the company. So right now in your business, if it's just you, you're probably doing everything. But there's some things that make it so you can't be going out and working with clients. You cannot be earning revenue because you're doing other work, because you're doing internal work versus the external work with your clients. So therefore, if you bring someone in to help you with that internal work and it allows you to spend more time with your clients, you have the opportunity to bring in more revenue, and that additional revenue you bring in could pay for those employees that you hire to help with the internal work. So therefore, both positions, whether they directly bring in revenue or indirectly bring in revenue, should pay for themselves when you look overall at the company of what can happen because that employee is now on staff. So that's what you need to look at when you are considering bringing on an employee, to see, is it worth the cost? To see what can happen within the company if you get this help. And if it's that you can bring in more revenue for your business and improve the bottom line, then that position is worth it. So instead of looking at an employee as someone who's taking money out of your pocket, you need to look at each employee as someone who is actually putting money into your pocket. They're helping either directly or indirectly bring in revenue, which should help improve your bottom line, pay for that position, and hopefully help you bring home more money each month in your paycheck.